Yo, Jack smashed my cap. Ain't that wild, brother? Creeping through the shadows, ninja in the cover. All right, guys, here we go. And another one. Nah, we got, let me move this first. You know what? Nah, I'll leave it there. Oh, shit. Look what I'm doing over here. All right, anyway. There we go. We're back with the season predictions. Season predictions now. Look, like I said before in the other two videos, we're going to try to do these every season now. Draft recap, additions, and then predictions in that order. So without further ado, last season, AFC, I was 5 for 7. I picked the Chiefs, Jags, Jets, Browns, Bills to all make the playoffs. I also picked two wrong ones, but we won't go there. NFC, I was 6 for 7. The only one I got wrong, I think I picked the 49ers to make the playoffs, but they didn't make it. So thanks, MMX, for ruining my record. I got 3 out of the 4 conference champions right, and then I got your champs right again, Green Bay Packers. Coach Mac, kind of hard to root against them. Mac's just great. He's great, and it's almost like a sure thing when you think he's going to win it, and that's pretty much it. So let's get into the predictions now. We got the AFC East. This is how I have the AFC East going right here. I got the Bills finishing 12-5, the Jets 11-6. I got Miami 5-12, and the Patriots 3-14. That's just how I see it. Look, I think the Jets can battle the Bills for first place, but I just think Beast has something this edition. Looks good. He looks really good. Witness just is a little off. Witness is still, a top coach here. I still think he'll make the playoffs, but I do think the Bills will win that division. Now we go to the AFC North. AFC North, I kind of kicked myself when I did these predictions because it seems like this division's a lot closer every season than I predict. But last season I predicted 3 teams to go over 500, but I think I was off maybe by a game or 2. But either way, I have the Browns winning the division. The Steelers taking a bit of a step back. The Steelers obviously were a huge surprise last season. He totally flipped his prediction completely around. I didn't expect Gooch to go 12-5. I didn't expect him to go to the AFC Championship either, but he did. And so I think he'll build off that. He might have maybe a little bit of a letdown this season, but I still think he'll be right in the playoff mix. He'll be right in the division mix. I just have Enzo finishing a little higher. The Bengals, I do have having a down year, even though the Bengals really improved their roster greatly in the offseason. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals completely flipped that around and went off on a tear and ended up winning the division. So really wouldn't be surprised. The Ravens, I have falling back a little bit. I know he has a good roster as well. Lamar Jackson, obviously. He just lost Derrick Henry to free agency. So I think the Ravens will finish last, but those top 3 I think are going to be they could be interchangeable. I think the Bengals could be a playoff team, even though I have him at 5-12. Tough. He has a tough schedule coming up. But yeah, that's how I see. I see the Browns and I see the Steelers probably both making the playoffs, with the Browns winning the division. AFC South. This is how I have the AFC South finishing. I have Big Dre winning that division again. He's just a model of consistency with the Jaguars, and that's his team, right? So when you have your team, you're just a different kind of player, and Dre always has those Jags. So the Titans I have finishing second. Pettigrew lost, so he was out last season. Hicks came in. He didn't fare as well as Pettigrew, obviously. Going 7-10. I think he finished maybe with a 1 win. Maybe he went like 1-6, I think. So I have Hicks falling back a little bit. I think he'll get into the groove maybe halfway through the season. He'll start playing like we know how he can play. Then I have the Texans finishing third at 5-12. I think Alex has the talent to win games. I'm not really sure what happens. I mean, I'm really not sure what happens. I can't really tell you, because you know what, he has a stud tight end, he has a good quarterback, he has a good running back, he has good receivers, he has a good defense. So there's really nothing holding him back to finishing second. Maybe he can jump Hicks and finish ahead of him. So also I have the Colts finishing last. The Colts, Coach Eddie He went on like a 2 or 3 game winning streak last season after he put Richardson in at quarterback. He had Dak, let Dak go, didn't re-sign Dak. And then, so, the Colts, Coach Eddie, it is what it is. If Eddie puts in that effort, I know he can win games. He's been in the playoffs in his MOF career here. But for whatever reason, he's been falling backwards a little bit lately. So it'd be nice to see him win some games, but I think he's going to finish where he finishes there. AFC West. This is how I have the AFC West coming about. I do have the Chiefs and Coach Bubba, who made his return to greatness last season. I know season 78 or 77 wasn't as great as last season, but looks like he's ready to go now. He's got Mahomes cooking. He had the best draft, right? He has a lot of guys coming in. He has a very good roster. Xavier Worthy, that fast son of a bitch who burns me every time I play him. I have him finishing first overall in the AFC West. I have the Raiders, myself, finishing second. Could be maybe a little bit of a high prediction, but I like my schedule. I don't know. I mean, I don't like talking about myself, like I said. So, the Raiders maybe 10-7 with the moves that they made, bringing in Brock Purdy, Terry McLaurin, a new safety. But I still think they need some offensive and defensive line help. So that is something that they should look at coming up here. And Denver, who was also a huge surprise last season. Denver, Coach AJ really came into his own. Finished 9-8 last season. He made the playoffs. Has a good run game. They just signed Tua. So Denver is going to be right there too. I could easily see Denver jumping the Raiders there and making the playoffs once again. Now Mac Daddy is always a wild card because you never know what's going to happen with Daddy, right? Either he finishes 6-11 or he finishes 11-6. It's like you don't really know what's going to happen. We know Mac Daddy can ball because look at his record. Look at his MOF record. He's won championships easily. It's just the last few editions have bit him a little bit, but I still think Mac Daddy has it. He can still surprise us. Not surprise us, but he can still just all of a sudden, season 79, Mac Daddy 13-4. So don't be surprised if Mac Daddy finishes above what we're predicting him here. No disrespect, Mac Daddy. NFC East. This is how I have the NFC East going here. I have the Giants winning the division once again. Look, Portis is playing well. I know he wants to be the Commanders very well, and he wants to be the Commanders, but if he didn't get him, he got the Giants, right? So I have him winning it. I know they lost Brian Robinson in the offseason, but they have rookie Tracy Ware, I believe his name is, already on deck. So I think that will be the X factor, really. Look, these three teams, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, all three of those teams can easily win this division. I just give the edge to the Giants, just a little edge. The Cowboys finishing second. Look, Coach Q is a great GM. He knows what he's doing. He got Dak back. He was having problems at quarterback. Got Dak back. That will be huge for him, I think. So he also has, I believe, Drake May backing him up. So I know he's quick to pull that trigger. So if Dak isn't doing it, Drake May will jump in. So I got the Commanders finishing third, but I have the same record as Dallas. So I think those head-to-head games are going to be huge for Washington and Dallas and the Giants. I just have them falling backwards a little bit. I just think I don't really know. I think Dallas. I think Q and Betts are just a little bit better than Roglo. No offense. Hey, it's bulletin board material, right? So I do think one of these teams is not going to make the playoffs, though. So whoever finishes third is going to miss it. So I have the Commanders possibly missing the playoffs this season, and then the Eagles. I'm sorry, Bucks. You always seem to fall into a division with Hall of Fame coaches, and you're stuck here again. You have a good team, but I just think you're going to fall short again in the NFC East. NFC North, I have the Pack. Look, you can pick this division every single season the same way, and that's basically what every single person has done in the MMX's season predictions. Every time, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. That's how it's going to finish. I don't care what their record is. Look, Mac already lost. He lost his first game again to Healy, who beat him last season in the week one. But then Mac won, I think, 18 straight or 19 straight to win the Super Bowl again. So I have Mac winning that division, no brainer. I have Healy getting the second place, another wild card berth. But again, you have to watch in the NFC now. That seventh seed is going to be tough. So you really want to get that sixth seed. So I have Healy finishing a little higher. I have Crazy finishing 8 and 9, but again, Crazy got a couple of players in the offseason. He got DeMarcus Lawrence, who I know he loves him. He loves a defensive end like that. It's going to help him tremendously. And the addition of Brian Robinson and the rookie they drafted, the running back they drafted, also going to help him a lot. He can definitely finish 10 and 7 and sneak in. You don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I think he'll have a better season this season. So look out. The Bears, I have 2 and 15. Look, we love Remo. We always root for Remo. Hopefully one day he can just jump up and win 10 games and get into the playoffs. But in this division's tough. So I think he'll finish about 2 and 15, 3 and 14. Okay. NFC South. Look, we're going to see a changing of the guard. I think Carolina is going to win a division, but I wouldn't be shocked if Big Rube jumped the Panthers and won a division with Tampa Bay. All right, Dev, obviously, he knows what he's doing. He's great. He's a great coach. He's a great user, and he has shown that he can run with anyone in this league. Really, Mac has beaten him a few times, but that's the only thing standing in his way of a championship. I think if he can beat Mac, he's going to get in, and he's going to win a championship. Tampa Bay have finishing second. Big Rube came back last season, took over for Jafon. He finished 7 and 1, so I expect Rube to really have a great season. I really think he's going to have a good season. People are going to be shocked that don't know who he is because you're going to find out real quick who Big Rube is. Last time he was here, the last season of Last Edition, he won the Super Bowl. He beats Mac regularly, so I mean, if you can beat Mac, you're going to be a top coach, and that's what Big Rube is. He's a top coach. I believe Tampa will be either a division champ or the top wild card. Either way. Atlanta. Look, Atlanta, Big Reg came back a little bit last season. He's playing better. He really has figured out how to hit stick and make fumbles, cause fumbles. He had, I think, 15 forced fumbles last season, which was like double the second place team. So he's figured that out. He forces fumbles, so be careful when you play him. But I do have him finishing up around 8 and 9. Again, he's with 2 heavyweights with Dev and Big Rube, so he's gonna have to beat one of those guys, or maybe twice to get into the playoffs, or he's gonna be around 500 and just missing it. And then the Saints, I have finishing last. Look, Chieffer, he's made his return to the MOF. He's in a really tough division. We know Chieffer can play. He hasn't played here in a while, but we know he can play. He just has to get back into that groove of winning games again. So I have the Saints finishing last. The NFC West. Look, I was one of, I think, maybe 2 or 3 people who picked the Rams to win the division last season, and they did it. Okay, I know Coach Booby is very good. He went 10-6 and 1 last season. Well, I thought he was going to finish around there 11 and 6. I have him finishing around 10 and 7. But again, this division is another one of those divisions that it reminds me a lot of the AFC North. I mean, because any team can kind of sneak in and be like, oh yeah, okay, I can see that happening. Like Domi with the Cardinals, or MMX with the Niners. Even Buffalo Bill. I have Buffalo Bill finishing 4 and 13, but he made some nice moves, and he can get hot. We've seen it happen. I mean, I think he won a championship. Didn't he win a championship here? Or no, that was Boa. Never mind. Or I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna fact check myself before I continue here real quick. But yeah, Buffalo Bill. I mean, he's had some really good seasons with. No, he's never won a championship. I'm sorry, Bill. I'm sorry about that. But I know he's had some good seasons with Buffalo. He's won divisions, so he knows how to win. It's just getting over that hump of whatever's bringing him down. So the additions he made were very nice. But I do think the Rams will win a division again by a game or 2 over the Cardinals. The Niners, I have fallen back a little bit with the loss of Purdy. I believe he has a rookie quarterback, and I don't know. I'm just a bad quarterback, period. But rookie quarterbacks lately, I've not been happy with them. So I wish him the best. All right. Now, this is how I have the standings going. Let me just move this a little bit. Let me just go like this real quick so we can see it. This is how I have the divisions finishing. Okay, I have Buffalo winning the AFC East, the Jets getting in. I have Cleveland winning the North, Pittsburgh getting in, Jacksonville winning the South, and then the Chiefs winning the West with the Raiders getting in too. And then the NFC East, I have the Giants. I have the Packers winning the North, the South. I have the Carolina winning the South, the Rams winning the West. Then I have the Cowboys, Lions, and Buccaneers getting into the wild card with the Commanders just missing. I have the Commanders winning some games, but like I said, one of those teams is going to miss the playoffs, I believe, and they're going to have a good record, so that will be them. And now this is the awards I have. And let me just resize this. There we go. These are my awards coming in for season 79. I have Mahomes winning the MVP again. I just think Bubba has it going with Mahomes. He's playing great with him. So I have TJ Watt winning the Defensive Player of the Year. I think Gooch has Watt just slotted perfectly. He blitzes, he covers. He's playing great. Coach of the Year, Beast again. I have Beast winning the Coach of the Year for Buffalo. Comeback coach, I have Mac Daddy coming back this season. I think he's going to have a comeback season. I believe he's going to challenge for the playoffs, even though I have him finishing last. But Rookie of the Year, I have Dalton Childers from the Chiefs. I think he's going to get him in there, even though he has Pacheco. I think Childers is going to start getting some carries, getting some catches out of the backfield to have him winning Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have Jalen Wiggins from Buffalo, the safety. I think Beast had a good season with Bishop a couple seasons ago, so I think Wiggins he'll have that kind of season too. And MVP, I have NFC Jordan Love. I think he's going to win it again. And then Defensive Player of the Year, I have Edger and Cooper from the Packers. I think Mac was just going to dominate all these categories. Mac Coach of the Year again. Comeback Coach of the Year, I have Big Reg in a surprise. I think he's going to challenge for a wild card, even though he'll probably fall short, but still think he'll be a comeback coach and be tough. Rookie of the Year, I have Joe Barry of the Giants. I think he's gonna have a huge season. Betts just knows how to get his receivers the ball and knows how to dev up guys. So look out. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Mike Macklin and Big Rube. Again, Rube is another one of those guys that know how to dev up. And now I'm gonna open up my playoff predictions. Here you go. This is what I have. I have the Chiefs, Jags, Browns getting past in the wild card. I have the Panthers, the Lions, and the Bucks in the NFC. Divisional, I have the Chiefs, the Bills, the winning. I have the Bucks beating the Panthers in a great game. It's going to be a must-watch TV. Then I have the Packers beating Healy and the Lions. And then the AFC title game, I have the Chiefs and Bills. I have the Bills getting to a third straight Super Bowl. And then I have Big Rube. I have Big Rube upsetting Mac and getting to the big game. And then I have him beating Beast. I have Beast losing 3 straight. It's like the early 90s Bills here and losing 3 straight. And I think Coach Big Rube is going to win your championship this season. And not really a shocker, but surprising fashion. So there you have it, guys. Listen, I hope everyone has a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Just stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Have a great New Year if I don't talk to anyone. I know Christmas is coming up soon. Hopefully everyone's ready. I know I'm not, but don't get sucked up by any drones in Jersey. We're getting some crazy drone activity, but everyone have a great holiday and have a great season. We're doing good already, and best of luck to everybody.